Hello there, welcome to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic, the programme which over the next 30 minutes aims to answer all your holiday, cruise and travel related questions. And if you have a question you'd like one of our travel experts to answer, here's how to get in touch. Our website is www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. Click on Programmes, select the clinic page and submit your questions to us online through the website. You can also email us directly to clinic@holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk or by post to the Holiday and Cruise Channel, Cavendish House, Brighton Road, Liverpool L22 5NG. And sending in your questions you certainly have been. We've been inundated with emails and letters, so here to answer some of them today is a good friend of the show, travel broadcaster John Cooper. Welcome along, John.
Thank you, Phil.
Let's get straight into the questions. Sheila from Southampton has emailed us first of all. Sheila's looking for a cruise which would suit 3 adults in single rooms. Are there any cruise lines that would meet her requirements?
There's quite a few cruise lines now that are doing a lot more single cabins. P&O have just added some more onto some of their ships, and they are, as the ships going for refurb, and they do that more or less once a year or so, once every couple of years, they're adding more single cabins in. But also NCL have a great set of single cabins on the Epic that goes from Barcelona, and the individual suites, and they're great, they're all in the same area as well, and they have their own lounge, so anyone who's travelling by themselves, there's a lot of people in the same boat sort of thing, and you can really get to meet other singles as well. It's a great atmosphere.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people are living by themselves these days, so they want to go on holiday by themselves too.
Yeah, it makes sense. And of course, it's not just it's restrictions on time. You can't get away with other people and things like that. So it's a real mixed bunch of people who go by themselves, and it's a great way to sort of mix and mingle. Also, what a lot of the cruise lines do as well is put all the singles onto the same tables if they want to, so you can go on excursions together and go into the ports of call together as well. It's a great way to holiday.
Yeah, when you need a holiday, basically, don't you?
Yes.
It's not always convenient to find someone to go with. OK, William from Leeds is travelling to Spain for a week, but his passport expires just 3 weeks after his return date. Will he be able to use his passport, or does he need to renew it before he goes?
Going to Spain and the EEC is no real problem, of course, because it is the EEC, and you can use your passport until the day it expires. However, after saying that, he doesn't say when he's going, but if he's got time, I would renew the passport before you go, because you don't know what may happen. You may have to stay there longer for one reason or another, and it's best to err on the side of caution. And when you put your passport in, you can do it about a year early, and they'll actually extend it, so you don't actually lose a year, if you know what I mean. So if your passport runs out in July, but you're renewing it in January, when you renew it, it'll run till the following July, so you won't miss out on time. But I would, if you have time, get it renewed anyway.
It's more for ID purposes these days, isn't it?
Certainly within the EEC, it's for ID purposes, because we don't have our own cards in the UK, or ID cards. A lot of the European countries, when they're travelling around, they just travel on their ID cards, but we don't have them in the UK, so it is for that. If you're going further afield than Europe, if you're going to America or Australia or something like that, you will need 6 months on your passport before you come back. OK, always good to check. Thanks, John. Gillian from Cheshire, thank you for your question. Gillian's going on a Western Mediterranean cruise in spring, but as she's physically disabled, she's wondering if she can hire a scooter in Malaga for the week. Now, we're talking mobility scooters here, aren't we? Yeah, we are. And in all the major destinations, yes, you can hire them, and you can go online and book them before you go, so they're ready, and they'll either deliver them to your hotel or meet you at the airport with them. What I would say, though, is before you go, before you even book that, check the hotel's facilities as well. Check you can get around the hotel in the scooter, because a lot of hotels, especially in some of the smaller resorts in Spain, they say, yes, we have ramps. And I know this because, it's not until you're in a situation that you realise, my mother's in a wheelchair, and they say you've got ramps, and, you go along and say, yeah, they have got ramps. But some of the ramps are like that, yeah. And they're great for sort of getting trucks of beer up and that sort of thing, but it's not something that you'd want to go down on in a wheelchair. So check the hotel. Also, it's silly things like check the width of the bathroom to make sure you can get the wheelchair in the bathroom. It's silly things like that. But always check. Contact the hotel. Get your tour operators to contact the hotel to check it before you travel. Just best be safe than sorry. And also make sure it's in a flat area, not on a hill.
Are the scooters pretty much the same as we get here in the UK?
Yeah, they are. I mean, so it's one of those markets that not many people make them because it's it's not like running off a car. So it's usually 3 or 4 manufacturers making the same ones. So if you've got one in the UK, you probably get the same make overseas which you hire. As I say, it's a deposit, and then you pay the hire fee, and then you get the deposit back at the end of your stay.
And of course, somewhere to charge them as well overnight when you're in your hotel too is important.
Yeah, it is, and I say once again, with the weight of them and what have you, make sure that the lift in the hotel will take the weight of the scooter, and the scooter will physically get into the room.
Okay, hope that helped, Gillian. Elizabeth Woods has also asked about tips. Now, we talk about this kind of consternation on the programme quite a bit. Are there any pretty, mainstream standards across cruise lines for tipping?
Do you know what? There aren't. That's a simple answer. But different ships have different ways. Some of them, the likes of Thompson's, their tips are included already, so you don't have to worry about them there. The likes of Fred Olsen, for instance, they charge about £6 a day, and it's taken off your account about 24 hours before you leave. It's £6 per person per day. Now, what you can do as well is, at any point, if you don't think you're getting value for money, you can go to the front desk and say, I don't think, I've been getting value for money, and they'll take them off for you, or they'll reduce them down. And that goes with any. They do the same on P&O. Royal Caribbean, you can prepay gratuities with Royal Caribbean, and also Celebrity as well. And what that means is usually they have a thing called freedom dining, which means you can go and eat anywhere at any time. And if you prepay your gratuities, you can do that. If you don't prepay your gratuities, you can't experience that. But a lot of people like to prepay them, I think, really because you know where you stand when you get on board. It's not, you don't see it coming out of your holiday spends, then it's more of the price of the holiday. But as I say, with the likes of Fred Olsen, P&O, and a lot of the other cruise lines, you pay when you're on board. But the price that you pay, and a lot of people say, why is it included? Isn't it included in that? For me, I think it's the price you pay. If you went out and had a fine dining experience, would you tip? And I think yes, you would. If you're on holiday and you visit bars, and would you tip the waiter? Well, normally you do, and and of course, because it's a cashless society on board the ship, there's no chance to do that. So therefore, it's a way of doing it. And certainly with the British ships, I think it's very reasonable for what you get.
It's only the cruise liners with the British people on there have this problem, isn't it? I'm sure everybody else doesn't have a problem when it comes to tipping, but we've got a certain thing about it in this country, haven't we?
I think it is, but once again, I think once you've been, anyone who's cruised, it's a big issue for people who've never cruised before because they haven't seen what they're getting. And I think once you've been on board, some friends of mine went cruising last year for the first time, and they were worried. It was all big foggy about this, what's all this tipping and all this sort of thing. And once they got on board, and it's sent to you before you go, all the details. They said, we didn't begrudge paying it at all for the service we got, the level of service we got. It was well worth it. And of course, if you're not getting the level of service, you just go to the front desk of the ship and reduce it down.
Absolutely, and we're talking about money here, of course, when it comes to tipping. Not, as one of my friends did, left a note saying, "Cook my steak a bit better next time." That was a tip. All right, okay. Lorraine from Brisbane. Lorraine, thank you for your question. Lorraine is a sun seeker. Well, I like that title. And looking for a cheap getaway. And is wondering what sunny destinations do the budget airlines fly to outside of Europe?
Well, they don't go much far outside Europe because the way they run their operations is that they can get as many flights in the day. But just going outside of Europe, they've got Morocco, quite a few Moroccan flights, and that's a quite nice way to get away and experience something very, very different in the West African there. Also Egypt, of course, so you go to Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada and Luxor as well. And also some of them go to the likes of Jordan and Tel Aviv. So if you do want to go far away, and of course Turkey's outside of Europe as well, so you can get to Turkey with a lot of them as well. What I would say though is just check, make sure that where you're going, there's a place to go to at the other end, and check.
Yes.
Check that when you get there, there's transfers and things, because in places like Marrakesh and places like that, if you come out and it's just,
you mean allocated on arrival?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
That sort of thing. But if you come outside of Marrakesh airport, it's just bedlam. If you haven't got something booked, it really is. It's horrendous trying to find your way out.
It's not a relaxing holiday.
No,
in that
it can be very stressful.
Yes, that's just not what you need. So hope that helps, Lorraine. And is it best to look online, do you think, or go to the travel agent?
It's
Bit of both, perhaps.
Well, with the low-cost airlines, it's always online usually. So go online, and there's also a lot of retailers that package up the budget airlines flights as well to go in with accommodation and transfers. And I think that may be a better way of doing it. That way, you know that you've got your flight and you've got your transfer as well, all included.
All right, John, we'll stay there for a moment. Plenty more questions to come after the break. And don't forget as well, when it comes to cruising and questions about tipping and things that we were just talking about, we've got a couple of cracking guides for you. We've put them together for you based on the questions that you send us. First time guide to cruise holidays and our guide to family cruising as well. They're both absolutely free. You can have one or both, and they're all available now by calling us on 0871 423 4444. Calls cost just 10p a minute from a BT landline, but calls from other networks and mobiles may vary. You can also request a copy through our website at www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. So while you're getting in touch, thinking of your questions for us, we'll take a quick break and see you back here with myself and John in a few moments' time. Hello there, welcome back to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. Good to have you with us. And in today's programme, I'm joined by a familiar face of the channel, John Cooper, who's been busy going through the many questions that you send us through email and through the website and by post as well. John, straight back into the questions, because there's plenty to get through in the next 10 minutes or so. Safina from Bradford has 3 children, aged 2, 9 and 16, and wants to know if there are any particular cruise companies suitable for children of those ages to keep them happy, safe and entertained.
Oh, there are so many. I mean, so first of all, there's NCL. Once again, we've mentioned them, Norwegian Cruise Lines. They have a fantastic range of facilities for children. So do P&O. Once again, the kids club. I mean, I've been around these kids clubs, and they're segmented by age groups. So you have, the infants, and then the older children, the middle-aged children, and those, and right up. There's about 5 or 6 different kids clubs for them all. Royal Caribbean do it really wonderful as well. And when they're on board, you just don't know they're there, and it's a great holiday if the kids are enjoying themselves. We went with the kids a couple of years back, and we had a 5-year-old, a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old, and we thought, this is going to be murder. They're all going to hate it, and they're all going to loved it. Can't wait to go back. They just loved it. And some of the entertainment that they have on, you just don't know they're there. Royal Caribbean do a great thing where after your main meal, the children, the entertainers come around and take the kids off to the kids club, so you can then carry on your meal and have a cup of coffee and maybe a liqueur afterwards or so, without the kids being there, so you can have a little a chat and what have you. So it's really a relaxed atmosphere. It's a very, very safe atmosphere for the kids, because basically they don't realise our 14-year-old liked to get away, and he thought he'd escaped us and didn't know what was happening. He could do his own thing, and he was doing his own thing, but he's always supervised. Unwittingly, they're supervised, because there's always someone there. And we used to go around, and the waitress would say, "Oh, we saw him doing this, we saw him doing that," with his friends and what have you, And so we always knew what they were up to. But it's a great, safe environment, and the kids love it.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, John. Susan Fletcher gave birth to a baby daughter 8 months ago. Still on the family side of things here. When would she be permitted to sail? Can she do so now, in fact?
Well, yeah. Well, congratulations, first of all, on the baby. Yeah, from about 6 months onwards, they'll let you on. Some cruise lines will let you go earlier, but the vast majority, from 6 months onwards, you're fine. But I say, don't forget to take your gear with you, and they'll look after you. And if you've got any medical stuff as well, take it on board. Just check before you sail. That's all. Make sure your doctor knows you're doing it.
How does that compare to airlines, by the way? Because there are certain slightly more rules and regulations, aren't there?
It's not so much after birth. It's pre-birth actually, where they tend to ban you from flying. But it's more or less the same as airlines. But with airlines, you can go normally about a month, 2 months afterwards.
Okay, let's go on to Maria from Inverness. Maria, thank you for your question. Maria's looking to take a cruise holiday this year to coincide with the school holidays. When is the best time for her to be looking to book? Probably when you and Derek are on, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. No. But seriously, it depends what sort of cabin she's looking for, what sort of cruise she's looking at. If she's looking for a family-sized cabin, they're the ones that do go first for obvious reasons. There's fewer of them, so if she's looking for a family-sized cabin, I'd say book as soon as you can, really, to get them. If there's just two of you going, depends what type of cruise you want to go, where you want to go, if you want to risk leaving it later. With cruise lines, the prices could go up as well as down, and it depends on the time of year. Or it could be looking as though it's going down, then all of a sudden they fill up and the price goes up again. So it's very much like the low-cost airlines, the way that they operate. The closer the date it gets, normally the higher the price it goes.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because is it like the package holidays of old, when January or February came, you went out and got your brochures, cheered yourself up by looking at the nice pictures and everything, and then chose where you wanted to go? Is it the same for cruising?
It is. A lot of people, what happens is a lot of people who cruise regularly, they know the ships that they like to cruise on. They like to know the cabin number as well. So they'll ring up the first day it goes on sale and book and say, and can I have deck 7, cabin 739? And so and that's what happens. And so therefore a lot of the popular cabins get booked up really quickly first, because people know what they want, and they ring up and make sure they get it.
Is there any chance of being upgraded? Like going on the plane?
Yeah, there is.
If you wear something smart.
Yeah, it's not what they do is. If you book early, they always ask you, would you like an upgrade? If you are upgraded, and so you booked an inside and you get upgraded to an outside, or you booked an outside and you get upgraded to a balcony cabin, you have to take the upgrade. So you can't say, well, no, I don't want it now, because what happens is they've upgraded you, so they've actually sold your cabin. So once you accept, yes, please upgrade me if you can, you can't then say, no, I don't want to upgrade now.
And who wouldn't want an upgrade?
Well, that's it.
So hope that's helped you, Maria, and have a nice holiday when you get round to booking it. Callum from the Midlands, thank you for your question. Callum is looking to assess some wheelchair accessibility. Is this something that cruise lines can accommodate?
Yes, it is. They all have wheelchair accessible cabins. They have to by law, especially if they're coming out of the UK. But they don't have that many of them. And P&O have just introduced a new line as well, where you used to be able to leave your cabin or your mobility scooter outside the cabin of an evening and have the space in your cabin. Now your mobility scooter and your wheelchair must be inside the cabin now. So you've got to make sure it goes in there. But they all do have adaptable cabins. There aren't many of them. Once again, it's one of those cases of book early, and the newer ships tend to have the better facilities. Because
I suppose you tend to think that ships have a lot of stairs on them as well, but there are plenty of lifts to take care of that.
There's plenty of lifts as well, yes. That's how they take care of that, lifts. And also, I mean, the staff are incredibly helpful.
Yes, absolutely. Make your holiday go with a bit of a swish, I think. Now, John from Liverpool is asking about that all-important issue again, tipping. It's just not one you've slipped in, by the way, is it? It's a favourite question of ours, as we know, John. And he asks, when you are on board, can you decide to change the amount that you tip?
Yes, you can. Of course, it's a gratuity, so therefore, it's your decision what they suggest amounts to you, and this is what they say we think it's worth. And generally, if you want to go and change it, you can do. Last holiday I was on, I thought I got exceptional service from the waiting on staff, so I added a bit more on because I thought they were worth it. And you can go and do that yourself. Just once again, you go up to the reception desk and they'll help you out. You just basically fill out a form and say, I want to pay this much, you sign it, and that's it.
How much do the crew rely on your tips as part of their wages then, do you think?
Well, I only go on a couple of cruises a year, so
don't retire now. No.
Yeah, no, don't retire now. Not on the face of me. Well, it makes up a fair proportion of the wage, obviously, and They obviously get full board on board and what have you, but you know, a lot of them that they work away from home and they send money back to where they live. So I think they do depend on it for that.
Diane from South Wales has asked a similar question actually about using cash. Can we use cash on board? Because obviously people like to tip with cash sometimes because they may think that if you use a card or you do it indirectly, the person never gets it.
You can tip in cash. That's absolutely no problem. On board the ship, though, you can't pay for anything in cash. You have to pay for everything on your room card. That's to make it, as I say, it's a cashless society. But what you can do is, at the end of each day, you can go to the reception and say, what's my current account? And they'll say, you know, you owe £15, and say, there you go. And I just paid off. So you can pay it off daily. So you don't have to have a credit card. Yeah, and you can pay it. Or what you can do is say, you know, which is a great safe way of doing it, you know, here's £200 to go off my account, and then if you don't spend the £200, you get it back, and of course you get back what you haven't used, and that way they've kept your money safe for you.
And if you are going to use cash, is there a particular kind of cash that you need? Because it gets complicated then. What sort of money do you take with you?
It depends on the cruise line. Most British ones, obviously, like P&O and Fred Olsen, take pounds. If you go on Royal Caribbean or NCL, Norwegian Cruise Lines or Celebrity, that's dollars, US dollars.
Okay, all right. Well, one more question then, John, I think we've got time for. Susan and her family are interested in river cruising, but don't want to have to take a full excursion package as they want to do their own thing when they're in port. Susan asks, what river cruise line can you pay for just the cruise only?
Well, most of them you can. A lot of there's two types of really river cruising. It's quite strange. There's like what I'd call the mid-range and then the very high end. And there's not something a lot in between. But on the mid-range, there's the likes of the River Cruise Line, which you can just book the cruise with them, or they'll pick you up and take you to and from the ship. And then if you want, you can buy the excursions as you go. Then there's the high-end ones where they tend to be more all-inclusive, but they do include them. But it's entirely up to you. If you ring a decent travel agent, they really will be able to help you with them. But there are quite a few river cruise lines where you can just get off and do your thing. And because with a river cruise, you tend to pull up in the middle of the town or the middle of the city, so therefore, you know, you can get off and just walk around yourself. It's a great way to stay in place.
Fantastic, John. Thank you very much indeed. Again,
Pleasure.
Some brilliant questions, and sorry that we haven't been able to get through everybody's questions, but do keep them coming in because we do these programmes on a regular basis and it's always great to hear from you. Thank you very much indeed. Talk to you again soon. Now, don't forget, we have our two handy guides for you. This will answer a number of questions for you in one fell swoop, our first-time guide to cruise holidays and our guide to family cruising as well. They're both absolutely free for you. You can have one or both. They're all available now by calling us on 0871 423 4444. Calls cost 10p a minute from a BT landline, and calls from other networks and mobiles may have cost a little bit more. You can also request a copy through our website at www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. Well, that's all we've got time for on today's edition of the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. Don't forget, our travel experts are here to help. So if you have a question on holidaying, cruising, or just travel in general, do please get in touch. I'll see you again next time. Until then, goodbye.